We are glad to see you again on our channel, and today we have a review of a film in which Jerry, a former UN employee, is at the center of an epidemic of the virus that turns all people into zombies. He has to go to find the cause of this virus. All hope is on him. Philadelphia. The film begins with two girls running into their parents' room and jumping onto their bed. The kids wake up dad and mom and say they're gonna eat pancakes. Jerry Lane cooks pancakes in the kitchen while asking one of the girls what to give her for her birthday, and the baby replies that, the dog. There's news on TV. The girl's mother walks into the kitchen. The baby asks her father what this martial law is and if it happened at his previous job. Jerry responds that he left that job to be with them and likes the new job. The family gets in the car and drives out, gets stuck in traffic in the center of the city. Jerry, they play a game. The girls are thinking of an animal, and the parents are guessing. The wife notices that helicopters were flying over them, and Jerry makes the radio louder. Suddenly, a motorcyclist speeds past the car and knocks down the mirror on Jerry's side. He gets out of the car, lifts the mirror. At that moment, some explosion occurs. A policeman tells Jerry to get into the car and not to get out of it. As soon as he finishes his sentence, he is blown away by something big and very fast. Jerry says, "Get out of here," and tries to get out of traffic. He's right behind the truck that's ramming all the cars in the way. The girls are frightened. The youngest screams to be given a blanket and hidden. The eldest sits on the floor behind the seat. While Jerry and his wife tell the girls to buckle up, another car crashes into their car, triggering the airbags. The street is chaos. People run away. The police tell everyone to leave. Jerry and his wife get out of the car and get the girls. They're running away. Jerry, looking back, sees that some people turn into zombies. Spots appear on them, they become rabid and throw themselves at others. In 12 seconds, bitten people become zombies. Jerry and his family get into the van, he gets behind the wheel and starts driving away. They are attacked by zombies on all sides, who are smashing their heads against the car windows, trying to get inside. Jerry drops them. Police helicopters and fighter jets fly in the sky everywhere. Jerry manages to leave the city. The eldest daughter, Rachel, has an asthma attack, and the inhaler remains in their car. Jerry stops and calms the girl. He gets a call from Thierry, a friend and the UN Deputy Secretary General. He tells Jerry that everything is infected and asks where he is. He also says he'll be able to send a helicopter for Jerry's family in an hour. And he adds that it's not just for old times' sake, but that he's needed at work and needs to come back. Thierry. Jerry and his family arrive in Newark, New Jersey. They take the weapons they found in the van and go to the grocery store and for the inhaler. Leaving the store, they see that the van was stolen. They start running, and Jerry calls Thierry in parallel, saying that they will climb to the roof and wait for a helicopter. He says they will come at dawn. Jerry and his family run into a house and enter an apartment with Latino immigrants. Barricade the door. The boy asks if they will eat. Jerry tunes the radio. They stay overnight in the apartment. Jerry wakes up and tells the man who took them in that he worked in dangerous places and always survives. The one who moves offers to leave together. The boy translates everything Jerry says to his father, but he asks him if he needs anything else. Jerry takes the knife and ties it to his hand. He and his wife and girls go out of the apartment. The Latin Americans start pounding zombies. Jerry and his family run to the roof, followed by zombies. The helicopter is already waiting over the roof. Jerry takes the Latino boy to the roof. His parents are not safe. Jerry himself stands on the edge of the roof and counts 12 seconds. He says that blood has got into his mouth. The girls, Jerry's wife, and the boy run to the helicopter and climb aboard. Jerry at this time holds the door, which is smashed by zombies. He leaves the door and runs to the helicopter, and the military targets the zombies, covering the Jerry. They take off. The helicopter enters the squadron on the high seas. Jerry encounters Thierry. He shows them the cabin where they can camp and takes Jerry to talk. He says the president is dead, the vice president is missing, the big cities are worse off. The general approaches Jerry and asks him to join an investigation team. Jerry refuses, but is told that only so his family can stay here. Jerry goes to his wife and tells everything. He is forced to agree that the family will be in a shelter. He says goodbye to his wife and girls and leaves. Jerry's wife and children go to dinner. The girls notice that the water tastes strange, and the military tells them it's fuel. There are too many people on the deck, and there is no time to filter it out. Jerry, along with a young doctor and other soldiers, is flying in a plane. They are boarding in South Korea. They slowly get out of the plane, but they are immediately attacked by zombies. The doctor guy starts running into the plane and dies. Reinforcements arrive. The military boys tell Jerry that zombies attract noise. The military also asks Jerry what is with other cities, and he says that everything is infected. He says that 11 days ago there was a report with the word zombie from the object where they are now. The chief of the military says it was an email and brings everyone to the room. There are 16 people, all deprived of life. The military says they're all guards who were bitten trying to handcuff a man to a bed. This man was a doctor at the base. He was sent to the village to witness the death of a boy soldier who was away for a week. He was foaming from his mouth and seeping something like fuel oil. When the soldier was examined by the doctor, the guy woke up like a zombie and bit the doctor. When the doctor returned, he began attacking patients. The military say that one of them was standing right in the middle of the infection, but he wasn't touched at all. Jerry spots a man behind bars and heads for him. This is Gunter Hafner, a former CIA operative arrested for selling weapons in North Korea. The military says he got zombied in 10 minutes. He tells Jerry that in North Korea, all people had their teeth removed in less than 24 hours. No teeth, no bites. Then he says that Israel is winning. That's where the walls around Jerusalem are built. Gary replies that the walls have always been built there. Gunter replies that they finished it just before the zombie attack. He gives Jerry the name of the person in Jerusalem with whom it is worth talking, Jürgen Warmbrunn. Gary tries to call his wife, but the connection is interrupted. Jerry commands that they need to fly to Jerusalem. The military surrounds Jerry and leads him to the plane to refuel. The phone rings. This is Jerry's wife. The sound attracts zombies. Sergeant is bitten, and he takes his own life. Jerry gets on the plane, and he and the pilot take off. Jerry calls his wife and tells her everything is fine. The plane with Jerry flies to Israel, and he requests landing as a UN envoy. Jerry is escorted to Jürgen Warmbrunn. He reveals that they intercepted a message from an Indian general about fighting the Rakshasas, a zombie translation. Jerry chuckles, saying they built a wall, believing in zombies, and a member of the 10 replies that he would also be skeptical and says that if 9 people have one opinion, then the 10th has the duty to not coincide with them. Having allowed the most impossible turns, the 10th must dig and insist on another. Jerry understands that Jürgen is the 10th. He began to explore, meaning that if they say zombies, they are. Jürgen also says that there are so many potential sources that it is not clear how it all began. Organ trafficking in Germany, outbreaks of avian influenza in South Africa, strange behavior of people on the Asian islands. Anyway, the zombie epidemic is growing. Jürgen shows Gary their wall and gate passageway. Jerusalem receives healthy refugees. Refugees entering the city begin to sing a song. Jerry asks Jürgen for answers, to which he replies that there are no answers. You can just find a way to hide. At this time, zombies are attracted by the noise, climb the wall around Jerusalem, and begin to fall into the area. Complete chaos begins. Jerry, accompanied by a female officer, runs to the plane. Along the way, he notices how zombies run around and do not touch a girl who has cancer. She's right on the road, and she's just being bypassed. Also, in front of Gary, Sagan is bitten by a zombie, and Jerry cuts off her bitten wrist for a short time. He gives her an injection and says that she will not turn. Sagan, they run to the Belarus airline and get on it. Jerry tells Sagan that he will now change her bandage and clean the wound. He gives the girl alcohol from the minibar. Jerry disinfects the wound with vodka and puts a new bandage on the girl. She suffers from pain. Jerry begins to recollect that he was told about a soldier who stood right in the middle of the zombies but was not touched. Jerry calls his wife and asks her to give Thierry the phone. He asks Thierry to find the nearest medical center. Then he brings the pilot a radio. The pilot tells Jerry that they have found the nearest WHO facility in Cardiff and will bring him there, but are not sure that it works. Meanwhile, the business class stewardess frees the zombie who was sitting in the closet. People begin to get infected one by one. Jerry tells passengers not to panic and quietly give all the bags that are there. He barricades the passage, but it does not help. The zombies burst and the passengers are infected one by one. Jerry pulls out the grenade and looks at Sagan. He detonates the grenade, thus depressurizing the plane. Through the hole in the plane, the zombies fly out. One of them is pulled into the engine. The plane crashes near Cardiff. Jerry comes to and sees that he has been stabbed by some kind of iron thing. He finds Sagan and they leave the plane. Wounded, they reach the medical center in the town. At the UN base at this time, it is said that communication with the aircraft is lost, and Jerry is missing. Because of this, Jerry's family is transported to a refugee camp, although Thierry is trying to help. It is not his decision now. Jerry wakes up. Next to him are two men. He is tied to the couch. On the stomach there is bandage. Men ask who he is and why he came, saying he was unconscious for 3 days. Jerry calls on the radio. Thierry picks up and says he's from the UN. Jerry asks where his wife is and begins to worry. He is freed and asked how they can help. Jerry says that he needs a virus that is strong. He explains his theory that zombie weakness is people's strongest weakness. So zombies spread a pathogen that needs a healthy host. Researchers are discussing his idea, and the girl researcher says it could happen. She cites, for example, that predators bypass diseased prey. Jerry says that the virus will be like camouflage, not medicine, and he's suggesting that they inject the virus into the human body to test it. The researchers say that everything they need is in Wing B, and there are zombies living there. The infection in that wing came from a doctor who was sent samples of infected blood. Jerry, along with the doctor and Sagan, arm themselves as possible and go to Wing B. They are warned that one zombie at a time is better not to kill because the others then become more aggressive. Jerry and the team pass through the corridor into that wing, moving slowly and quietly. They reach the room where the zombies are and try to pass her by silently. Opening the door to the staircase, they create a noise and the zombies begin to activate. The doctor touches the furniture with an axe and a loud sound occurs. The zombies begin to run to the team. Jerry creates a sound, a distraction, quickly runs away. The doctor and Sagan run away from the zombies and run towards the uninfected wing. The doors open and they run in. Jerry sneaks into the vault and retrieves all the viruses, but sees the zombies behind the glass, so he injects himself with randomly selected pathogenic culture. After a few minutes, he opens the door and becomes directly in front of the zombies. Jerry looks at him, snaps his teeth, but does not attack. Jerry quietly passes through the wing. The zombies run around him and do not touch him. Jerry arrives at the refugee camp where his family is. Scientists develop a vaccine camouflage, and then begins the mass extermination of zombies. Then images of the war going on in different parts of the world are shown. The Russians with guns fight the zombies for Moscow. The Germans set the infected dogs. And the Hungarian firefighters burn the living zombies. This is the American film World War Z, in the genres of horror, fantasy, action, adventure, directed by Mark Forster.